Good afternoon, everybody. This is Sonam Sherpa, and I'm going to take your general English class. Some of you people might know me as we have already started offline classes a couple of weeks back. Unfortunately, due to this pandemic, we could not be able to continue it. So, some of you people might, like new. What we are going to do is that maybe out of compulsion. See, to be honest, I'm not very good with online classes as well because this would also be my first experience, you see. So I want you people to bear with me, but still I'm going to try my best to make you people understand as much as possible. And as soon as the government would allow us to take offline classes, we are going to start online classes once again, right? But for the time being, we are not sure that when they are going to give us, when they are allow us to take offline classes. So that is the reason why we are to continue from now on, right? We cannot wait, right? You never know when will they are going to conduct your examination or SI examination or any other competitive examination. So in the meantime, जब तक लॉकडाउन है तब तक हम लोग जितना हो सकता है हम लोग ऑनलाइन क्लासेस करते रहेंगे, ठीक है? Anyway, so let us start with our syllabus. So this would be our first class. So let us. I want you people to write down your syllabus, okay? And then only we are going to discuss the points one by one, right? Okay, चलो लिखता है सब साथ में मिलके ना. The first thing that we start writing, okay? Syllabus for general English. Here, I would like to tell you people that when we talk about syllabus, it's more or less similar, okay? No matter which examination are you preparing for, even if you're preparing for APCS examination or any other competitive examination like clerical examination or B-grade examination or SI examination. The syllabus for general English is more or less similar, okay? So, the first topic we have is subject and predicate. Second one we have is noun and its classification. Third we have is pronouns and its classification, of course. Fourth we have is exactive. So these are the basically things that we are going to discuss in our days to come, okay? Five we have is articles and article uses and omission, or the places where we are not supposed to write articles. That's it, okay? Six we have is um, after articles we will be discussing verb and its classification again. Seven we have is adverb. Eight is conjunctions. Nine we have is prepositions, uses of some important prepositions. Then we have is tenses, kinds, and uses. Next we have is Tenses we have subject verb agreement, and then 12 we have is question tags. Yes, 13 you can say auxiliaries. 14 we have after auxiliaries we'll be discussing voices. Yes, that would be active and passive. Stop up, please to write. Or what you people can do is that you can take the screenshot as well. Okay, let us move on. So 14 we have written there. Let us start with 15. The narration, that is direct and indirect speech. 16, 17. Okay. So narration, after narration we have transformation of sentence. Transformation of sentence is like it's last chapter. Okay. Basically, when I say transformation of sentence, removal of to positive to negative sentence and positive to interrogative, assertive to exclamatory sentence. We have removal of unless use of unless. Next we have use of hardly had when you no sooner than. Okay. Next we have 17. Again, it's transformation of sentence. Transformation of sentence we have simple, complex, and compound sentence. Have you people written already? Okay, I'm going to scroll down. Okay, I'm going to move on. So this is the general English syllabus that we are writing. Next we have is writing section. I have come to know that writing section, some other teacher will deal, but still I also have, certain parts which I need to discuss. In writing section, I'll be discussing formal letters. Okay, I'm going to get you the format along with some examples. And when we talk about formal letters, there would be letter to editor, job application, and the third one would be Explain later. These three I'll be discussing. One more thing that I'll be discussing would be precise writing. Precise writing, sample with solutions. So this I'll be discussing. Okay. So this is your syllabus for general English. Let me scroll up. See, we are going to start with subject and predicate, and then we'll be go to next one, that is noun and its classification. See, parts of speech we are going to go as fast as possible. Okay, the reason is that though they no direct question would come from there most of the time. No direct question would come from there, but still, without having good command over parts of speech, you cannot be able to do the questions from where the direct question would come, like articles or tenses or direct speech or indirect speech or narration. See, if you do not know subject and predicate, you cannot be able to attempt, like the questions from active and passive voice or narration as such. Okay. So basically, all of them, they do have their own role, maybe minor or major, that would vary. But you don't have to memorize the definition, of course, but the concept should be clear. Okay. I mean, what it's more like, if you want to learn how to write a sentence, you got to learn how to write a word, right? And if you want to write if you want to learn how to write a word, you got to know how to read the alphabet. So it's more like that. Okay. So without having basics, you cannot attempt the question from where the direct question would come, right? So that is why it's really important that you should have good command over your syllabus. Okay. Anyway, so we are going to start with our first topic, that is subject and predicate. Okay, so let us start. So the first topic that we have, as you can see in the syllabus, the first topic we have is subject and predicate. So this is your first topic. Okay. So before we start, let me make you understand that subject and predicate are an integral part of a sentence. Okay. Every time you want to form a sentence, every time you want to speak a sentence or write a sentence, without subject and predicate, there can be no sentence. That is what I want people to understand. Okay. Subject should be there in a sentence, predicate should be there. Okay. So let us write the definition first. And yeah, one more thing that I would like to clear here, that is, you people should not worry about your notes, okay? What I'm going to do is that I'm going to send you people notes on your WhatsApp, right? And along with exercise questions. See, once we complete a chapter, what I'm going to do, I'm going to send you the notes of that particular chapter along with the exercise questions, okay? See, it's really important to practice at home. Unless you do practice at home, maybe in a classroom you may find certain chapters very easy, but if you won't practice, automatically the concept or the idea of that particular chapter would go away, right? So that is why it's really important that beside learning a chapter, you got to do some practices. Okay, or the type of question which would come from that particular topic, I want you people to do the practice. Okay, anyway, let us start. See, when I say subject, you need to understand they are generally a noun or noun equivalent. As I told you, don't bother about the definition. Okay, I'm going to write you the definition. That is a pronoun. Now, let me write you an example so that it will be more clearer. So, Ram is a good boy. Now, you can see that in this sentence we have two nouns. First one is Ram and second one is boy. So, either Ram is a subject or boy is a subject. Okay. So, basically the definition of subject says that a subject is a noun or noun equivalent about which the whole end sentence is. You can see that किसका बारे पे पूरा sentence बोला जा रहा है. Now you can see in this example that Ram is a good boy. We are talking about Ram. So Ram is our subject. Okay. So you can see that Ram is our subject. Now one more thing that you need to understand, that it's a bit easy to find out a subject even if you have couple of nouns in a sentence. Okay, you need to observe that when you have a verb after a noun, then only it can be considered as a subject. For example, boy. You can see boy is also a noun, but it doesn't have a verb after it. So you need to understand that boy cannot be a subject. If you want a if you want a noun to be a subject, it be always followed by a verb or a predicate, right? When I say predicate, you need to understand a verb would always come. Okay, so you can see that the whole sentence is, there are two things to be observed here. That the first thing is Ram, about Ram, the whole sentence is, and the second, you can see that after Ram we have a verb is. That is why Ram is our subject. Let me write you some more example. Adam ate an apple. Now, in this example, again, you can see we have two nouns, but we can see that the whole sentence is about Adam, and it is a verb which has come after Adam. So this Adam is our subject. Okay. Apple is also a noun, but this doesn't have a verb after it or a predicate after it. So apple cannot be subject, though it can be called as object. Okay. So that is what you need to understand. Let me write one more example where I'm going to write a noun equivalent word. He calls his mother. Now you can see that we don't have a noun, but this one is a word about whom the whole sentence is. Or you can see that he is, though it's not a noun, but it's a pronoun. Okay. Noun equivalent means any word which can come or which is equal to noun. Eventually you would learn that pronouns are a word which is equal to noun, and that is why we call it noun equivalent, right? So here in this given example, you can see that he is our subject. Okay. Now, I hope you people are clear about the subject, or there is another way by which, if ever you come across a sentence where you are confused, which is your subject. One more thing that you people can do to find out a subject is that you can ask who or what to your verb. When you do that, automatically the answer would be subject. Say, let us in this example, if you are confused which is your subject, what you are to do, you are to put who or what before your verb. What is your verb here? Calls, right? Now you can say, who calls? He calls. Now he is your subject. Who ate? Adam ate. You see, who is a good boy? Ram is a good boy. Now you can see that these are words, they are the answer of the question who or what. So automatically you need to understand they are our subject. Okay. I hope you people are clear about the subject. So we will move on. Okay. The next we have is predicate, right? So let us see predicate. So when I say predicate, you need to understand all that we tell about the subject. Okay, all the words basically. The definition itself says a predicate is all that we tell about the subject. So beside subject in a sentence, okay, beside subject, all the remaining words are called predicate. Okay, let me write you an example so that it will be more clearer. If I say they sell strawberries, now you can see in this example that they are subject. Who sell? They. Or we can see that they is a word which is equivalent to noun. It's a pronoun basically, so it's our subject. Sell strawberries is a predicate. Okay. Now you can see after subject, whatever words we have or whatever words which would follow subject, they are called predicate. We have generally a predicate has a verb after with it. Okay, under it. अपना predicate के अंदर में हमेशा आपको एक verb देखने को मिलेगा. Let me write a couple of more example. Ram writes a letter. Now, in this example, who writes? Ram. So, Ram is our subject. So write a letter. Writes a letter is our predicate. Right. So, one more example. She goes to temple. Now, who goes to temple? She goes to temple. So, she is our subject. Now, you can see that they, Ram, she are our subject. And the words like sell strawberries, writes a letter, and goes to temples goes to temple, these are our predicate. Okay, so that is what you need to know about subject and predicate. There is one more thing that I want you people to understand about, like subject and predicate. That is not one, you can say imperative sentences. In imperative sentences, subjects are often omitted. I mean, you cannot like it's in other word you can what I'm trying to say is that many a time you may come across imperative sentences, or imperative sentences are those sentences which are used to express command, order, requests, entreaty, instructions, etc. Okay. Now it says that in case of imperative sentences, basically the subjects are missing. But look at the examples. Okay, like please come here. Now in this sentence you can see that there is no subject, or get out from here, get out. So these examples, they don't have subject, but it doesn't mean it's not there. Only it's been omitted. Okay. So it says that according to the grammar rule, basically, in case of imperative sentences, we need to consider a subject you. So you should be considered subject at all times in case of imperative sentences. Though you may not be able to see the direct, like subject, or subject may not be visible, but you need to understand, even if it's not visible, you is there at all times. Okay. One more thing that you need to know about subject and predicate, that would be the note number two. Okay, is that though out of 100 sentences that we speak and that we write in our day-to-day life, you know out of 100, 99 times you see that your subject would come in the beginning of the sentence, but that is not mandatory again. Okay, many a time it may happen that you may come across a sentence where your subject has come in the end. So don't get confused if you come across a sentence where your subject has come in the last. Okay, may possible. Okay, look at the example. It says that sometimes, sorry, sometimes subject may come in the end of the sentence. So that is also possible. Example, sweet are the uses of adversity, or into the bottom sank the ship. Now you can see in the first example that we are talking about the word adversity. So you can see sweet are the uses of adversity का जो uses है वो अच्छा है बोल रहा है यहाँ पे ना. So basically you can see that the whole sentence is about adversity. So it's our subject and it has come in the end. Okay. In the second example, into the bottom sank the ship. So again, you can see that ship is our subject which has come in the end, right? So that is what my point is. It says that though most of the time your subject would come in the beginning of the sentence, but sometime you may come across sentence where you would find that आपका subject जो है last में आया है ना, like these examples here. Okay. Anyway, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to call it a day. Okay. So I hope I'm going to see you people in the next class. That is, yeah, of course, online class only. Next video, right? Okay, that would be all for today. Thank you very much, everybody. Bye.